There are about 450 players under contract in the NBA. Each one of them is told what they're worth. A scale sets it, a cap contains it, an apron punishes it. 449 of them are price takers. They sign what the system allows. This is about the one who isn't. 23 seasons, the most minutes any human has ever played in this league. More than $500 million in salary, the most in history of the sport. And at 41 years old, he is still, somehow, the gravity the whole league bends around.
There's nobody who has been as good for as long, meaning longevity, a sustained level of pristine excellence. LeBron James is the GOAT in that category.
The league still sells him at a premium, primetime slots, the marquee lit. But the floor tells a quieter story. This past season, he played 60 games. Sciatica and a bad foot cost him the rest, including for the first time in his career opening night. 20 points a night, a third option now, behind Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves. The premium and the reality have come apart. And yet there's one place where his power hasn't slipped a single inch. Not the floor, the fine print. Because that signature does something almost no one else's can. It makes him the only price maker in a league of price takers. Follow it outward and it lands a cost on 3 different people. Watch who pays. Start with the team that signs the check.
NBA superstar Luka Doncic is saying goodbye to Dallas and hello to Lakers fans after a weekend trade that is shaking up the league. Late Saturday, the Lakers acquired Doncic. The 5-time All-NBA player led the Mavericks to the NBA's finals last season. In exchange, 10-time NBA All-Star Anthony Davis is heading to Dallas. The big man teamed up with LeBron James for the past 6 seasons, winning the 2020 NBA championship.
In February of 2025, the Lakers made their decision about the future. They traded for Luka Doncic and started building the franchise around a 26-year-old, which left them with a question every team eventually faces about an aging star. What do you do with the old contract? And for the Lakers, the answer was written into the deal itself. When LeBron signed his current deal, it came with 2 things almost no veteran gets. A no-trade clause, meaning he cannot be sent anywhere without his own written permission, and a 15% trade kicker, meaning if anyone did try, the price jumps. The contract isn't just a salary, it's a lock, and he holds the only key. And even the length of that lock isn't really the team's choice. There's a rule in the collective bargaining agreement, the over 38 rule, that limits how far past that age a team is allowed to guarantee money. So a franchise can't even commit to him long-term on its own terms. The system shortened the leash. The no-trade clause means he holds the other end. So the Lakers moved on to Luka in every way but one. The one player that structurally cannot move is the one they were trying to move past. That's not a loophole he exploited. It's a door only he can open. The franchise pays in the one currency that matters in a rebuild: flexibility. Now follow the same signature to the locker room. This past season, LeBron earned $52.6 million. Next season, if he wanted it, his maximum is projected at $57.75 million. Put his number next to Luka's and 2 players alone account for $107 million in salary. Here's what that does to everyone else. A team has a finite amount of room before it hits the luxury tax. And then the aprons, the hard ceilings the new agreement built to punish spending. When 2 contracts eat that much, there is almost nothing left for the other 13 names. So the supporting cast gets filled in with minimum deals and the mid-level exception, the scraps the rules leave behind.
I'm fascinated because the Lakers have potentially 3 max players, right? And you consider Austin Reeves, he's going to ask for the bag. Luka Doncic is already locked in. LeBron is 41 years old. How much money can you allocate? How much money are you going to ask him to take when you are team building? This is the thing. Can you build a contender with LeBron James making a max salary? Or is LeBron going to accept less than what he would take from you from another franchise? That's the question.
The ceiling for the entire roster is set by 2 signatures at the top. Every role player on that team is, in a real sense, paid in what's left over after the price maker takes his. Except, and this is where the story turns, he might not take it at all.
This is the complex nature. The Lakers still have to be very careful with what they give to LeBron James, because every dollar they give him is less money they can give somebody else. And while I believe that Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic are a powerhouse backcourt and will score a ton of points and will lead to many wins, if you have those 2 guys as your backcourt making $100 million a year, because that's what they're going to make pretty soon here, you've got to have a back line to help them. You've got to have a rim protecting center, and you've got to have wings that can defend, and that's expensive.
Everything you've just seen assumes LeBron does what his leverage allows, takes the most. But heading into this summer, the reporting says the opposite, that he's expected to make, in one writer's words, vastly less, and re-sign with the Lakers on a reduced number.
LeBron James, the idea of taking less money to stay with the Lakers and help facilitate a championship team, smart idea? Something you could see happening or no?
I think it's a fine idea. I mean, the man is a billionaire. Again, what's important at this point, right? First of all, he's not playing 82 games anymore. He's not doing that. We've seen him sort of dwindle in the postseason. Do you stay in a position where you believe you will be able to add to your legacy as far as rings and championship, and you have this incredible life already? We know you're near the back end of this. What's the alternative? I guess it also becomes a question.
That sounds like good news for everyone. It isn't, not for the system, because of what a discount from this player unlocks. A veteran minimum contract for a player with his years of service is projected at around $3.9 million, and a minimum deal can be signed by any team in the league, even a team already over the second apron, even the most expensive, most restricted roster in basketball. Sit with what that means. The aprons were built to stop super teams, to keep the richest rosters from simply buying every star. But a legend willing to play for the minimum walks through that wall untouched. As one analyst put it, a discounted LeBron on a contender undercuts the entire project the commissioner has been building toward. Competitive balance, parity, a league where the rich teams can't just stack the deck. So, here's the full shape of it. If he takes the max, the roster around him starves. If he takes the minimum, the league's parity rules break. The leverage was never the dollar figure. The leverage is that he chooses which way the cost falls, and the system has no rule that can take that choice away from him. The collective bargaining agreement is 600 pages of rules whose entire purpose is to bind players to teams and teams to limits. A scale for what you're worth, a cap on what you can spend, an apron to punish you if you try to be too good. 449 players live inside those pages. One name sits in the margin, not because he broke a rule, he never had to, because over 23 years he became the one signature the rules can't afford to cross. We read the fine print. This time, the fine print has his name on it. What that's worth, who should pay for one man's leverage, or whether anyone should, we'll leave on the table. You decide.